Hello everybody, Robert here again with A to Z Smart Home. First, I want to wish everyone a very happy and safe 4th of July. There's going to be lots of celebrating today, fireworks, so just make sure you're staying safe out there because it can get a little crazy. So I actually want to vent just a little bit about some of this smart home stuff because last night ran into an issue that, again, is just frustrating. Some of these companies, they don't take into account what you need to do to make everything work together, and it just creates more complication. So my wife bought these. They are Gosund smart plugs, and she saw a good deal on them because it said works with Google, and so she bought them because we needed a couple more smart plugs, which is fine, whatever. She knows I have a bunch of them around. However, these only connect via 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, which is fine because every router in existence broadcasts that bandwidth. However, when you can't isolate that bandwidth on your device or from your router, it doesn't want to connect because it says, oh, you're on 5G, you have to be on 2.4. Well, there's no way to force 2.4. Long story short, I end up having to go into my Orbi business class router that I use at my house to secure my network and mess around with the Wi-Fi settings just to get this added. Well, in doing so, it completely knocked everything off the network. My TV wouldn't work anymore. My phone wouldn't connect. So I had to go back in and try to reset all the settings back to the way they were just to get everything to work. And that's ridiculous. You should not have to go through that much trouble to connect something. Why they couldn't maybe have added Bluetooth, and then you'd be able to connect via Bluetooth, push the wireless network information to the device, and then it disconnects Bluetooth and then connects back to the wireless network, which is great. There's a lot of products that do that. Google products do that. So I don't understand why they can't make sure that the functionality that is needed is there. It's just really frustrating. So this morning, since I was able to get these to work, I replaced this, which is, it's called C, just the letter C by GE. It was the only device I had on my network with this running. So I removed this, added one of these so I can consolidate at least the apps and applications that I'm using, which again is one of the frustrating parts of this, is that you have so many different apps and sign-ons and accounts you have to create. It just makes it convoluted sometimes. But at any rate, it's all working now, and my smart plugs are working, and I still love smart home technology. It's just getting around some of these little issues and waiting for the market and these manufacturers to fully implement Matter, and then all this wouldn't matter. One thing I forgot to mention is that these actually connect to an app that I already use called Smart Life. We happen to have a smart fan in our bedroom. It's a floor fan, and it uses the Smart Life app. So fortunately, I didn't have to install another app to connect these. I could just use one that I was already using, because again, I don't want to have 15 different applications I have to manage in order to get my smart home devices to actually work. And I also mispronounced the name. It's not Gosund, it's Gosund, Gosund. It's called GHome Smart. Now, these actually work really well. Once I got all the connection issues resolved, they connected pretty quickly. The devices work fine. Google Home and Assistant sees the device. So it's a fine product. It's just, again, that initial connection needs to be improved for sure, because it's just way too complicated. The average, user is not going to be able to go in the router and play with all the Wi-Fi settings just to get a device to connect. It's just going to create frustration for them. I've worked in technology for 30 plus years, and one of the things I've always strived to do is make sure the technology I'm putting in place and the processes I'm putting in place actually make their workflow and their business lives easier. We want technology to work for you, not against you. In a situation like this, the average user trying to get this to work, the technology is working against them, and it's creating frustration to where they don't want to deal with it anymore, because they're like, if it's all like this, why am I going to have to fool with all this just to get my lights to turn on and off? And we don't want that. That's not what I think the technology is intended to do. It's intended to make our lives easier, add some automations that is, yes, we can get up, flip the light switch on. We can get up and turn the fan on. But it's about the convenience. And that's the whole point of having a smart home, is lights coming on when you pull up to the driveway, lights coming on when you walk in the house so you don't walk into a pitch black house, and things like that. So at any rate, we want to try to find ways of making the process smoother and easier and more manageable. That way the average user is not going to have this kind of frustration. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe, I would appreciate it. Kind of help get the channel going. You can also visit www.a2zsmarthome.com, and there's some other articles, and I made a blog post about it. And you can also send comments, shoot me an email. So any comments, please drop them in the comment section and just let me know what you think. Thanks.